Hello everyone, my name is Junior. I have been working through this bottle of red wine, and I'm here to talk to you about the heavily anticipated, heavily panned, and heavily canceled Red Hood, the new ongoing Red Hood issue 1. What are we talking about right now? Well, in case you didn't know, this is kind of a tie-in, almost to my Hush 2, my Hattush review, which, guys, Hattush has been announced. It is going to be coming out. So I'm going to do a video on that last issue because I got it now. You know what I mean? In the last one, I was like, I doubt it's coming out. I doubt they're going to do it. And they're doing it. It's coming. It's on its way. So anticipate that video when it drops. Right. So maybe this ties everything with Red Hood all together. Why is Red Hood in New Orleans? What's going on? Right? There are references to Hush 2 in this new series. Well, there was references, right? Also, I buzzed my head. I haven't shaved, really. It doesn't look that bad, actually. Maybe I'm just overthinking. But I buzzed my head since the last video, in case you didn't notice, right? Today's wine of choice, working on Murphy Good 22 Pinot Noir. I failed French in high school twice, so not going to be pronouncing that right. Which is very funny also because this is in New Orleans. So there is French for like 20 seconds in the story, in Red Hood. I wrote a sticky note of notes, okay? Literally a sticky note, because I was like, there's not a lot I can do here, right? For Hush 2, I had more notes, but I need to get better about my notes because there were things I left out when I was talking about Hush 2, Hattush, that I wish I had mentioned. One of them being Riddler's design. Very dope. Was a big fan of that. So let's take it from the top here. All right. Gretchen Felker Martin and Jeff Spokes. Felker Martin wrote it. Jeff Spokes did the art. Let's start at the top. We're talking about writing. Okay? Let's just dive right into it. The writing is embarrassing, a little embarrassing. Now, I will say this. I think people really latched on to the hot saliva line that's like on the first page. Easy to do, questionable line. Don't know why we needed to say that. I feel like there maybe could have been a better... Right, there could have been something a little better. Also, guys, I'm out of wine glasses, so I'm drinking out of this glass. Sue me. What can you do me? I love you. Right, little guys and dolls reference for you. Start your day off right. Am I right? So basically, I gotta make sure to swirl it. Open up that flavor profile. So people really latched onto that line. The rest of the book is not that poorly written. I am very sad that they killed, I'm going to say it's Royale, because, again, it's French, we're in New Orleans, I'm going to say the name's Royale. Royale's design was so sick, and they killed his ass, like, immediately. First issue, they killed his ass. Maybe he was going to be coming back, because there were references that he probably would be coming back, like, loosely placed after his death within that issue. The concept of the tower, the cops doing the murder-suicides, a lot of stuff there, right? Jeff Spokes, banging. The art is great, and the designs are not as bad as people wanted to believe. I genuinely believe if they used a darker purple for the Huntress costume, would have been perfect. The Red Hood costume, weirdly, is the most lacking of the costumes. I was not a fan of the new costume. Granted, I was not a huge fan of his costume before that, I will admit. The mask was dope, but I'm just such a truther with, the Batman 635 costume, the Return of the Red Hood, the leather jacket, the red helmet, the classic red helmet now. I'm a huge fan of the Grant Morrison Frank Quietly design with the all white and then the Red Hood helmet, like the Joker's Red Hood helmet. I was a huge fan of that. And the Scarlet costume was dope too, right? But I'm a truther. And Under the Red Hood, great film, great animated movie. We can always sing our praises to Bruce Greenwood, to Jensen Ackles, to Jake the dog. This is good. Oh, this is going to kill me. John DiMaggio, thank you. We can always sing our praises. Even Neil Patrick Harris was a great voice for Nightwing. I love that. I would love more of that, always. We can always sing our praises of that. And the interpretation of the costume to the screen for that, perfect. Chef's kiss, great. No notes, right? Quick little swirl. Right. We love that. So, okay, back to center. Back to, here we are. Okay, we're coming back in. The art's good. And again, I'm not a huge fan of the costume. Again, sucks because he's the title character. You think he would have a slightly better costume, in my opinion. I just wasn't a big fan. I don't know. Like, I get that he needs to be the more, like, tactical member of the Bat family. I guess. If you needed to, if you had to have that, I guess. Whatever, right? I guess, right? Again, it was so there. The concepts were there. And I think people were really shitting on the writing a little bit more than they should have been because it really wasn't like that bad. Again, that one box, okay, could have thought of something better. I think my biggest gripe is that the pieces were there. It wasn't a phenomenal first issue, right? It wasn't phenomenal. But the pieces, like all that stuff talking about the tower, like I do have a smidgen complaint. We'll get to that in a second. But all the stuff about the tower, again, the murder-suicides with the cops, like there's like that message, the radio wave shit or whatever that like makes them kill themselves, I thought was really cool. I personally believe in sound. I do believe that there is somewhere in the, you know what? That's not the topic of this video. I do believe, though, that there is a sound that will make your head explode. I do believe that there's like, you hear it and you're like, you know what I mean? It's like the Rooster Teeth set of words, like your kill code. You say those set of words and you die. I believe that is true. So I actually really liked that concept for the express reason I'm like, oh, that's probably like a thing. That's probably real, right? This is coffee. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Make coffee at home. But I do believe that. I do believe in that truth. I do believe in that. So that was like a cool concept for me to see that little moment. It killed Royale too fast. Maybe it was supposed to come back. The character was supposed to come back. And then you can keep pushing with that. There was like cool little like dialogue moments that you're like, oh, Red Hood worked with this guy, with the drug shipments bullshit. I don't know. And then he actually was like working behind the scenes. He was like a villain. A lot of cool concepts that were laid out in the first issue, right? But granted, it got canceled. It got canceled real bad. Canceled the day it came out? The day it came out? The day after? The day? I should have double checked that. It was after a certain political speaker. We all know the story. A certain political speaker was shot and killed on a college campus, and Gretchen Felker Martin made some tweets talking about it. Right. No, we all know what happened. We all know why it got canceled. And I have a conspiracy theory regarding the cancellation of Red Hood. Me personally, I do believe that they were just trying to find an out. They wanted out of this story. They wanted out of the script. Maybe they just. I do believe that them being like, oh, her comments about Charlie Kirky, who that's what we're talking about here. Of course, I think that was a great scapegoat to be like, all right, you're done, cancel the series, you're fired, whatever. And I sit here though, and I kind of sit here and I think like, I wonder if they ever will, like, put out the rest of it. For the from the DC vaults. Remember when they published Batman 423, but it was like it was the death in the family, but what if Jason had lived? What if they called in to make sure he lived at the end, right? We remember that. We all remember that little beautiful moment, right? Again, tying into Jason, which there you go. That's how you do it. That's how you work it in. I wonder if they ever will release the rest of it in that way, because I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be a new ongoing. I don't think it was a limited. It was supposed to be a limited run. I don't think that per se. But let's say they do a Death of the Family from the DC Vault and they turn it into a like limited series. Like they probably could do that. You just finish out this arc and you cut out anything that would instigate that it's going to keep going as an ongoing. Like you don't end on a cliffhanger for the next arc, right? I could see them doing that. I could for sure see them doing that, right? Pinky up. Sweet Cat's Eye reference. Pardon me. Yeah, was it disappointing? Yes, it was a disappointing read. But honestly, again, I do believe that it was disliked a bit more than it needed to be. And especially because I think the concepts really were there. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been something like if it was more rendered and if we kind of like I don't know, expanded, if we had the chance to expand upon it, maybe it could have been something, right? Maybe it could have gotten better. I don't know, now we'll never know. I think someday they'll release it as from the DC Vault. I have a feeling strong. I'm sorry, guys, this video is not that long. It can't be, because it's one issue we're talking about, right? It's one issue. It's one book. That you did get to hear some like one of my conspiracy theories about the situation. Again, I do believe that they were just trying to find an out, and that was the perfect out in their minds, right? That was like a big deal, and I guess people got offended by what she said. I don't even know what the hell she said. I don't know. I'm assuming that was, they were like, this is a PR move. This is good for DC. And it's like, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I don't know. Right. So, again, I probably should have done more research leading into the like behind the scenes. But again, I believe I do have my conspiracy theory. I might just be pulling it out of my ass. I'm most likely pulling it out of my ass. Right. They probably would have let it keep going because, again, it had the bones, but also the pre-orders on that book were not great. I remember that too. People were not hyped about it because of the preview with the saliva panel. Again, that was like the worst possible opening for this, I think. And like, speaking of saliva, quick little segue there, cute little segue there. There was a very bizarre tension with Jason and Helena, with Huntress. I wasn't a huge fan. I think that would have been a very bad idea to continue because, okay, we're going to get, this is the little quick junior complaints section. Quick little junior complaints section. If I had a dope graphic, I would like, junior complaint section or some shit. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'll add graphics to these videos. I don't do any kind of editing. I just kind of go, if you couldn't tell, right? If you couldn't tell. But, see, I am not a huge fan of Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon dating in the comics. I'm not a huge fan. Okay? That's my truth. I do believe it should be Dick Grayson and Starfire, me personally. If you had to ask Junior, if you had to get an opinion from Junior on such things, if you had to. You don't have to, but if you had to. And here's why. I feel like because Stephanie and Tim, spoiler and Red Robin, dated, and now they're broken up. And Tim Drake is with Bernard. And we saw that in, was that Urban Legends 6? I want to say that was the issue where we first learned that Tim Drake's bi or I think he's bi. Is that confirmed? I don't remember. If it was like he's just gay or if he's bi, I don't remember. But that's when we learned that. And that was like 5 years ago. Crazy to think that was like 2021, right? But they've stayed consistent on that story element, which, good on DC for doing that. Good on DC for doing that. Just that it wasn't just like a bing right in your lap. Oh, now it's gone. There's your representation. He's bi, all right? He's done. He's back to dating Steph. I say that's a really cool thing that they've kind of kept it consistent in that way, right? That's cool. 5 years, nothing to sniff at, right? I think it was 5 years. Again, it's like 4 or 5 years. I don't know. But also it ties into the new Batman run. Who knows? Maybe we'll talk about that. I don't know. Point being, I swear one day I'm going to do a Marvel video. You know what I mean? I swear. I talk about DC a lot. That's besides the point. Point being, but one of the reasons like they're not together is I think it's like too much of a family dynamic. Again, the Bat family. I think it's too much of a family dynamic to have like dating in there that isn't like, maybe this is hypocritical to say add on to that, but like Catwoman and Batman. Because in my mind, Barbara and Dick Grayson like grew up together. They're essentially siblings. And that is always where I get this weird like, it feels like, it doesn't feel like incest per se. That's kind of pushing it. It doesn't really feel like that. But the Jason Helena, I'm like, is that what we're doing? Because it was 18 plus. That was the other thing. It was like rated M. It was rated R. 18 plus comic meant for older audiences. He says fuck, dude. He says the F word, and it's not a Black Label title. What? How do they get away with it? And by being 18 plus, I'm led to believe, they were gonna get it on. They were gonna get boning. They were gonna get straight to banging at some point in the story, or at least an allusion to it, alluding to the concept of putting it down, funny style. You know what I mean? And that is, I'm led to believe this by the context and certain panels and such. And obviously we'll never know. Until they do the DC, hire me. Let me tell you, I got some ideas for you. Release books. That's my biggest idea. You're welcome, right? No, but like, I just do feel that like, I feel like that relationship also, here's another little, it's not really a conspiracy theory, but it's a minor smidgen theory. God damn. It's pretty good. Okay, show the bottle one more time. It's pretty good. Not bad at all. Gonna give myself a little top off before I continue. I shouldn't go crazy. I should go crazy. I shouldn't go crazy. But this is my other little bit about it. It feels like such an odd pairing, but I think it's because they're like, well, who are the two that could like get together that aren't Barbara and Dick, and it doesn't feel weird, right? Like in the context of like the comics right now from the Bat family, like who are the ones that could do that? And they went, well, if it's Jason, like I don't know, Helena, because she's like the most on Jason's wave of things. I'd say, if you had asked me, I'm assuming that's why. Like, I don't know. Like, what have they... Again, we'll never know. Maybe it's just supposed to be a will they, won't they. Ooh, like, that's big. We love those. Will they, won't theys. Classic. Everyone loves a will they, won't they, right? Everyone loves it. Pretty good. This is the part in the video where I start to get red because I'm drinking. But basically, everyone loves a will they, won't they. Everyone loves a will they, won't they. But again, here's the thing, right? Right. It's a thing of like, there were a lot of things. I should tap it out here. I should cut it off here-ish. There were so many things that I feel like we could have expanded upon, that could have been pushed further. Was it as bad as everyone like wanted to believe? No, I don't think so, honestly. The sections that are bad were freaking bad. They were bad. They weren't great. Okay? But there was like so much more to it, you know, that I feel like, okay, if it's not great, kind of, it was a letdown of a first issue. But had it had the chance to keep going, would it have been a letdown as it kept going? I guess we'll never know. But I honestly think there was a recovery. A recovery was possible in this series had it not gotten canceled on release day, which is, guys, that is objectively hilarious. That's objectively funny. I don't know if they're still selling for this, but I remember the first issues were selling for like 40, 50, maybe more on eBay for a bit because it was so low ordered and so controversial, and like how it ended, and just so like people were like, holy shit, no one ordered this. There's like few of them, kind of thing, which, you know, you could take that as you will. The comic market is a very interesting market, and especially because this one doesn't fall into I would say it doesn't fall into the spec market per se, because you would be getting this book because you're like, well, how many of them are there really? But then I'm almost certain they did like 1 in 50s. If you dig on the ratio game, I'm almost certain they did like 1 in 50s and like 1 in 100s. Like I'm pretty sure there's like a 1 in 50 Jay Lee variant. Like I'm almost certain, almost like a smidgen not certain. Sue me. What can you do me? I love you. I don't know. At the end of the day, I never know. I just talk about the books, you know. Don't have to, but I do, you know. I love comics. I love reading, and I enjoy talking about such things. I should go old school. I've been thinking about this. I kind of want to do an old school video. To the 20 people that watch these videos, let me know. Should I review something else? Is it time to talk about something older? Is it time? I need to talk about a Marvel title, so maybe I do a video about a Marvel title. It's the 40th anniversary of Dark Knight Returns. Maybe we do a video on Dark Knight Returns. I think that'd be a beautiful moment. I think that'd be a very beautiful little moment. Maybe we do that, right? But all in all, again, a sad first issue, a letdown of a first issue. I don't think it was as bad as people want to think it was or believe it was. The pieces were there. But it just obviously didn't get realized for the reasons stated before. Jeff Spokes is a great artist. Jeff Spokes is a great artist. But Um, yeah, man. You know, um, I guess that's my end of the video, you know. It's pretty good, actually. I'd recommend. I guess that's my end of the video. Um, if you watch this, thank you for joining. Make sure to, if you don't follow the channel or subscribe, hit the subscribe button if you want. I do music too. I actually have a song coming out on May 6th, May 7th, next Wednesday. I say this, I'm recording this on a Friday. May 7th. I make music. Listen to it if you want. It's under HMFAS, Homemade Firearms. I have a video that I made. It's like a music video for one of the songs I did a couple years ago. Yeah, man, subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell as well. Right? That's a classic. Yeah, man. Everyone stay healthy, stay beautiful. Love yourselves, love the world. Yeah. From Love, Junior, Red Hood, comic books, DC. Throwing in my little tags, maybe I don't know. From Love, Junior. Take care of yourselves. Hashtag zonkpollen. Follow me on Instagram. Hashtag zonkpollen. And you guys have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. Bye, everyone.